Okay, on number 2 on yesterday's assignment, you were supposed to find the error. We have the pre-image and the image. What is the error that they made when they... Yes, Bryce.
You translated the image too close to the line of reflection.
Right. So I needed to bring... Everything needs to move over one more unit to the right, doesn't it? Because that is supposed to be a perpendicular bisector, so it should all be the same length. So everything should be moved over one more unit. Is that a rigid transformation or rigid motion? Savannah? No, why? The second one's bigger. Length was not preserved. Okay, what are the coordinates of each? So a reflection over the x-axis, Cadence, -5, 3. So what should it be over the x-axis? Oh, it still would be -5, but -3. The one coordinate doesn't, only one changes. If you did +5, -3, that would be reflected over the x and y axis. Bryce, do you want to do number 8?
Yep.
Okay.
-1, -6.
Just -1. The 6 would be positive. I'm sorry, the y. It would be 1, -6. Sorry.
Oh,
1, -6. No, you said -1, -6. The 1's going to be positive.
Oh, I misread that.
The 1 doesn't change. I thought 1 was x, 1 was y axis. That's why I was... Did you watch the video yesterday? You need to do that before you come in. Okay, so 9, it says write a reflection rule that maps each of the triangle's images. So this was that second example that we did that was longer. So what was the first thing we did on those? Yes. No, you should do this with us because it's kind of going over what we did. Yes, Savannah. We find the midpoint of the points. So we're on 9A, right? Okay, so to find the midpoint of J, we take x plus x over 2, and then 0 plus 0 over 2. 9. And so I get -8 divided by 2, which is -4. So the midpoint is -4, 0. Okay, then I have k. So I'm over here. So I'm going to have -5 minus 3 over 2. And 2 minus 2 over 2. So what is your midpoint? -4, 0. Thank you. So L. No. Oh, it would be plus, yes. So it would be 4 divided by 2, which would be 2. I was like, that's weird that it's this one. Okay. And then what we got here? 4. No, 4 minus 12 over 2. And then 4 minus 4 over 2. So I get this is -8, so it's -4. And this is -8, so we have -4. Okay, so I have all my midpoints. Then what did I do? Right, but what I did yesterday, oh, it's not the x-axis, it's different than that. Okay, so now we have to find our slope. We did midpoints, then we do slope. So pick 2 of these to do slope with. The top 2? Okay, so M equals y minus y over x minus x. So that gives me negative 2 over 0. So can I divide by 0? Nope. So that's an undefined slope. Now, if I were to graph an undefined slope, what kind of a line has an undefined slope?
A line that's not completely straight.
No, then it would have a slope.
Oh, if it's like going like that, if it's down, then it would be funny.
Mm-hmm. What about a vertical line? Does it have a slope? No, it's undefined. Any vertical line has an undefined slope. Well, if we're just talking about this line, it's an undefined slope. Okay, so all vertical lines have an undefined slope every time. Okay. Thank you. All vertical lines have an undefined slope every time. So that means when you calculate the slope, you would be dividing by 0 because we can't divide by 0. So what does a horizontal line have then? What? It does, but it does in the sense that we don't say anything doesn't have a slope. The slope is 0 because it's rise over run. It's not rising, is it? So when I did this math, I would get 0 over 16. What's 0 over 16? 0. So all horizontal lines have a 0 slope. Every single one of them. So Savannah, you weren't wrong with your statement that you said what it is reflecting over, but we want to write the equation, and so we want to know like what that actually means. Okay. So when I write the equation of these lines, we're writing y equals mx plus b when we're done, right? And we're going to use y minus y1 equals m times x minus 1 to get there. But if you think about it, this y equals mx plus b, it has a slope and it has a y-intercept. Do vertical lines, the slope's undefined, and does it have a y-intercept? No, not unless it is the y-axis. It doesn't have a y-intercept, does it? It just has an x. The equation of a horizontal line is x equals, and then just whatever the x value is, every time. There's nothing else to it. And what they usually write is x equals a because that's just any term on the x-axis. And a slope for a horizontal line is y equals, guess what? A. Because it's just whatever it hits that at. So if I tried to do this with this slope, if I plug an undefined slope into this right-hand side, it's going to make that whole right-hand side undefined, isn't it? So can I solve it algebraically? No. So I have to look up here, and we notice that it's negative 4, negative 4, negative 4. So they're all reflecting across what line? The x at negative 4, isn't it? So my rule that I'm going to write for this is just r x equals negative 4. Is that what you got when you did yours, Bryce? Yes. So B, the first thing we're going to do is find the what again? Midpoint. Okay, so we got our points right here on my left-hand side. So we're going to have what? 8 plus 8 over 2. And 6 minus 20 over 2. Oh, and that's for P. I should have labeled it, huh? So what does that give me? -7? Because 6 minus 20 is -14, so it'd be -7. Okay, Q. Got -4 minus 4 over 2. And 12 minus a -20. Oh, not minus a negative. I'm not doing slope. Minus 26 over 2. So what's that give me? So -4. And -7 again. So R, we have 7 plus 7 over 2, and 7 minus 21 over 2. So I get 7, and guess what again? -7. Okay, so which two would you like to find the slope with? The first two?
One, not the other.
Should it matter?
No.
No. Any ones you do, you should get the same slope. Okay, so I have -7 minus a -7 over 8 minus a -4. So over 12. So is 0 over 12 is what? 0. So I have a slope. Now I know right now it's a 0 slope, it's a horizontal line. We could just skip to the equation, but I want to go through and write it and practice it one time together.
That's good.
Okay, so we're going to use the y minus y1 equals m times x1, x of 1. So which point, we'll use this one for my x and my y since we didn't use it for the slope. We won't make it feel bad. Okay, so y minus a -7 equals 0 times x minus 7. Well, on the right-hand side, what's the whole thing equal? 0. So y plus 7 equals 0. Subtract 7. So y equals -7. So we have our rule. Reflect y equals -7. Now, back here, we all had -7, -7, -7. Does that tell me that it's reflecting over that -7? Yeah.
So we didn't even have to do all this.
Well, but you're going to have to do this today, so I figured we'd practice it together.
What if you have all the same egg or whatever?
X or Y. If I have all the same X's, I know it's going to be a vertical line. I mean, yeah, vertical. If I have all the same Y's, it's going to be a what? Horizontal. Okay, so your assignment is 17 through 28, 30, 33, 34. Remember, you need your name, your period. What section number is this? 3.1. 111, 17 through 28. I can't talk. 30, 33, and 34. I'm going to tell you right now, you can try 23 at home if you'd like, but we are going to go over 23. You can save it and put today's on it if you want. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to do, actually, you're going to do 17 and 18 really quick. Because 17 and 18 asks, is this a rigid motion? That shouldn't take you long, should it? Felicia, if you'd like to go watch the video now, you may, because this I'm recording and I'm going to be posting it also. It's up to you. Is 17 a rigid motion? Yes. Is 18? Why not? What doesn't it preserve? Length or ankle measurement? Length?
Yeah.
Yes.
Without a graph, I mean, you don't even tell. Like, they both kind of look the same, but I mean, you can't really tell if they are, 'cause a lot of times the book's out of proportion.
Well, this one they wants us to assume it is. Yes.
So 18 no because it's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So like this reflection deal, it wasn't an algebra
Mm-hmm. You did reflections and other one. Okay. So the next part, it says, trying to get my book so we can have it and use it and see me write at the same time. Okay, it says 19 through 24. Suppose M is a line with the equation. So we have line M, line N, line G, and line H. Now all the equations are there. They give you the points A, B, C. I would suggest writing those on your paper so you have them written down because you're going to use them for all 6 of those problems. What? Okay, we're working together, so you can work with us together. I'm recording this so people at home can watch it. So, okay, so A is 9-3. -3, excuse me. B is 6-4. And C is -1, -5. So we're going to reflect the same triangle 6 different times, 6 different ways. So if you want to, last hour when I did it, it kind of helped. We made a picture so we could see it. Well, we made a picture because we decided it would be easier to like see what's going on with the points. Because sometimes we need a picture to help us. And it's not, I just sketched it. I didn't need graph paper. Okay, so now we have this. Now 19, excuse me. 19 tells me I'm reflecting it across the x-axis. Okay, so when I reflect across the x-axis, what do I change? The y's, because I'm switching it, right? So A prime would be what? 9-3. B prime would be 6, -4. C prime would be -1, 5. Because when I reflect across the x-axis, I'm taking this triangle and flipping it over so that y's are what change. So 20 is the y-axis, or y-axis. I should have written what I was doing. So what are your, I'll let you have a minute to do that, or 30 seconds, or whatever. So you should have, let's see, -9, -3. Oh, B prime is -6, 4, yes. And 1, -5. Okay. Nope. You were right. 1, -5. The x is the only thing that changes. Okay. So that's 19 and 20. That was pretty basic, right? But 21 says R equals M, or R reflect over M. Well, what is M? Okay, so it's R over X equals -5. Okay, so I need to do this. X. It's an X. And I need to number it. That's why my Y's are curly. Oh, 21, not 23. Okay. So I need to take this triangle and reflect it over this vertical line over here at -5. Is what I need to do. So I know that this is a perpendicular bisector. Bisector means equals parts, correct? So when I move this point over here, it has to be the same distance from -5 that it is right now, doesn't it? And then here, the same thing. And here, the same thing. How am I going to find, so are my Y's changing? Are my Y's changing? No. What are changing? My X's. Okay, so my Y's are going to stay the same. So I need to find out how far A is from -5. So we're working on A prime, right? So I want how far A is from -5. How am I going to figure that out? Well, this point right now is 9, -3. And I want to know how far it is from 9 to -5. Okay. What? Oh, it should be. As long as I use the right numbers, I'd be fine, but my picture would be goofy. Went from -5. I'm going to be going more negative, aren't I? Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to take -5. We want to know how far it is from here. Because distance we always subtract. So 9 minus a -5 would be what? 14. So the distance from 9 to -5 is 14, yes? So I need to go even 14 more units to the left. So would that be addition or subtraction? Subtraction. So I'm going to take -5 minus 14, which would be what? -19. Okay, so we said the y is the same, so then what's my coordinate? So this is the x, right? So -19, -3. Right here. The y's are going to stay the same. So b prime, and we're looking for the x, right? Yes, because this is 14, so I need to go 14 more this way from -5. Yes. Okay, Bryce, focus on what you're supposed to be focusing on, please. Okay, so now I need to start at not 9, but at what? 6. So 6 minus a negative 5 is how much? 11. So I'm going to take negative 5 and go left 11, so I'm still subtracting. So I get what? Negative 16. So my point, negative 16.4. So C prime, no, the y's aren't changing. Okay, now what am I going to do here? Negative 1 minus a negative 5. And I don't know why I'm writing double negatives like that. I never do. Is what? 4. So that means I'm going to take negative 5 minus 4 and get negative 9. There was your negative 9. And negative 5. So 22 is R what? And what's M? No, what's M? Y is what? Y equals 1? Okay, so Y equals 1. So now we're going to be taking this and reflecting it across the horizontal line. Are my X's going to change? No. My X's are going to stay the same. What's going to change? My Y's. So now I'm finding the distance. And now when I went negative 5, everything was to the right of it, wasn't it? And so I just subtracted every time. But this one is going to be, we're going to have to subtract on one and add on another. Because B is going to come down, correct? And C and A are going to go up. You see how the picture can help you see what's going on? Okay, so we're still using these points right here. Would you guys rather me do it over on this side than under it? Under it or next? Okay. I just don't want you to get in that. Okay, so now A prime. I did X's here, but I'm going to do what now? Y. And I'm going to go ahead and write my X already on my new point so I don't try to change it. Okay, so I need the distance on A from negative 3 to 1. So you have 1 minus a negative 3, which is 4. So then you're going to take, I would just take my negative 3 plus 4 is what I would do. Or you could put 4 minus negative 3 if you want to do that. You guys want to keep your 4s in front because we did before? Okay, so 4 minus 3 is what? 1. No, that's not right. Oh, it should be negative 3. It should be plus 1. Okay. We need to stick, we did negative 5 here, we need to stick with our 1. So it'd be 1 plus 4. So 1 plus 4 is what? 5. Yep. I'm going to move it up just a little, and I'm going to lose A, but... So B prime, what's staying the same on my B prime? The 6, the X. Okay, so I need to figure out how far it is from 4 to 1. So I have 1 minus 4, which is negative 3. So I'm going to take 1 minus 3, which is negative 2. So my new point is going to be 6, negative 2. So C, the negative 1 is going to stay the same. Okay. So I'm going to take 1 minus a negative 5. So change it to positive, so it is 6. And I have 1 plus 6, which is 7. Yep. Okay, we are going to do 23 in class tomorrow. You are going to do 24 on your own, but we've done all those. Okay, 24. If you look at 24, I think it's H? And H is y equals negative 2. So that's going to be similar to 22. R equals negative 2.
So we only have to do 24?
No, you have to do the rest of the assignment, but we did all those together. So again, we're going to do 23 together in class, but you need to finish the rest of the assignment.